This is the last of the Logisim videos, and in this video we're going to talk about bundling and unbundling wires, which will help make your diagrams neater sometimes. So here's where we're going to start. Is I'm going to bring a pin onto the screen, and then I'm going to change. One of the things that we haven't played with is how many bits this pin represents, and a particular input can have up to 32 bits. We're going to deal with 8 bits today. And when you do, you see it changes now, and it's binary input, and you can just, with the hand tool, you can change those inputs. 1, 1, let's do 1, 1. Okay. Yeah. And so that's now an input, and this output pin is actually an 8-bit output, and it requires an 8-bit wire. So if I start drawing a wire from it, go back to the edit tool, then I'm going to get an 8-bit wire. Okay. Now, if I go back to the hand tool and I click on that wire, then it tells me what that wire contains. As you see, it matches what the input pin is, and also gives me the decimal equivalent, signed decimal. And we haven't talked about signed numbers yet, but trust the program. It knows what it's doing. Okay. So anyway, there's how you can check on the wire when you're in the hand tool. Is you can just click on the wire and you get that little readout of what's in the wire. Now, the output, and for this, I'm going to make a 6-bit output and show you what happens when you mismatch the wires. So 6 bits, you can see, and currently X because it's not connected to anything, and I'll try and connect it up, and I get an error. And look down at the bottom, it says incompatible widths. 8 for 8 bits, 6 for 6 bits coming in here, and I can fix that. I will just change this quickly to 8, and now it's happy again. But unlike the 1-bit wires where you can see the difference in colors, because this has multiple colors going through it, it's just black, and the only way you can see what's going on is to use the hand tool, or in this case, you could see that the output matches the input. It's just a simple straight through wire. Okay. But a lot of times when you bundle wires together, you don't want to take them all at the same time like this. So I'm going to get rid of this pin. And instead, I'm going to go into wiring, and I'm going to find something that they call a splitter. And I'm going to bring it over here. And you can change the facing of this splitter. Right now it's facing east, which means that the split parts are to the east and the connection is to the west. Okay. And you can also tell it how many bit widths are coming in. And how you want that fanned out. So I want it 8 bits fanned out. And now I can connect that. And now you can see it's back to individual wires. Let me get it unchecked. And you can see the wires have been numbered. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 through 7. Okay. And 7 is the first bit. This is the 0th bit. This is the 7th bit. Okay. And so it matches the output of the splitter matches the input of the wires. But we can play more games with this splitter. Now this means that I can now separate all the wires. They can go their different directions. But a lot of times I don't want to do that all at once. And so what I really want to do a lot of times is, well, for one thing, if you look here, I can change the order of the outputs. So right now, top is bit 0, bottom is bit 7, but I can change those around. Okay. The other thing I can do is I can tell it that my fan out is not going to be 8, it's going to be 2. That was the default. And now if we look at it, the top one is 0 through 3, the bottom is 4 through 7. And if I put the appropriate output pins to it, so I need a couple of 4-bit output pins. There we go. And now if I wire to those, you'll see that they have the right numbers, right? Because the bottom one is 4 through 7, so 1010, and the top one is 1 through 3, so 1001. Okay, pretty cool. Sometimes even that's not exactly what we want. What we want is to split off not an even number like that, but we want to split off specific wires and not all the bundle. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that output and momentarily get incompatible widths. Yes, I know. Okay, and I'm going to change this top one to 2. And then I'm going to go back to the splitter, and I'm going to tell it, oh yeah, I want bit 1, or excuse me, bit 0, and bit 1 to be the top, and those to be the bottom. And so now it's split 0 and 1 are the top, 2 through 7 are the bottom, and that's okay. But again, I can change the order of stuff. So maybe I don't want 0 and 1 to be the top. Maybe I want to split off 2 specific ones. And so I will, as soon as I find my cursor, come back over here and say bottom and bottom, and it gives me an error because it doesn't match anymore. And then I'm going to just pick 2 of these at random, top and top. Okay, and now it's happy again because 6 of these are going out through the bottom and 2 of them are going through the top and stuff. And so I can do that. And of course I could put a splitter here, 2 in and 2 out, and split those individually. I could put a splitter here, 6 in and however many out that I wanted to. So you can have splitters upon splitters, the whole bit. You'll see that I've used that in some of the more complex circuits like the memory circuit that I show you in class and stuff. And so this is bundling wires. It's really easy to do. And you can change it so that the inputs are actually unbundled. I'll make each of these 4. So you can split and you can also bundle using a splitter. And that's just a matter of finding a splitter, changing its facing to the west in this case, changing the bit width in to 8 for in this case. The fan out's 2. I'm happy with the half and half like that just for this demonstration. Okay, and then that part in. this part out, and now I can play around with it with the hand tool. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. And again, with the hand tool, I can keep track of what's going on with any of these. So I can look and it's like, yeah, that's 1011. That is 10110. This is going to put them all together. So 0110, 1011. Okay. And then it takes it apart. And of course, you can see it should match the output pins. And it does. And so that's bundling and unbundling wires. And again, you can do that to make your runs less cluttered, so you don't have like 8 parallel wires here, single wires that you're trying to run in your circuit. You can bundle them all into a single wire. And that's it. All right, hope this helps you, and good luck.